it's just not looking good. Have I lost all hope? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I would tell my wife, like, hey, Sundays are open. You want to do stuff on Sundays? Let's do it. I'll record the game. Maybe I'll get around to watching it. And I know, like, I'll still keep recording and I'll still keep giving my thoughts. But we're in a bad spot. And even when we had Saquon, even when we had all those weapons that we love so much all on the field at the same time, we didn't do anything. So it's really tough to say what really needs to happen. It really is because Will Hernandez has regressed tremendously. We have Nick Gates, who probably should not be playing center. We have Cam Fleming, who's not great at right tackle. Zeitler is probably on the decline. We're probably seeing the beginning of the end of Zeitler. Andrew Thomas, I think is going to be a great piece to build around. I think he's the one player that I feel confident in, despite all these like numbers being thrown out there. He passes the eye test. He looks way better than Eric Flowers. He's not over there trying to trip guys. So at least we have Thomas, and at least we have Jones. I still believe in him, unless he comes out the rest of the year and he's throwing 4 picks a game and he just pulls it and has a mental meltdown like Jameis Winston, eating his hand in hype up speeches. I still believe in Jones. I still think Barkley comes back with a vengeance in 21. I think Slayton is something that is at least a number 2 wide receiver, possibly number 1 if he cleans up, some of these mistakes. But I think Engram, they just cannot figure out how to use Engram. I think I thought they were going to get on the right path with lining him up as a slot receiver and really playing on those mismatches. If you have a linebacker on him, then you know that you can burn them on quick routes, fast routes, where he can use his agility. If they put a safety on him, he can use his muscle. Or if you put a corner on him, he can out-muscle them, like box out and really play basketball against them. But, as Jordan Raynon said, he's not going to be winning many 50-50 battles. It's like, no, if he goes up against the corner, go up for the ball, probably not going to win it. But in the trenches, like in the 5 to 10 yard range, he can use his body to get separation and at least shake a tackle and get some extra yardage. But I think he's gone. I think he's going to be gone at the deadline. So offensively, we're hurting in a major way because Shepard can't stay on the field. Tate's a non-factor. No run game. I mean, maybe Freeman with another week under his belt, has a better idea of how we're scheming blocks. But Garrett needs to figure it out. That's the main theme of this episode. Figure it out. Call better plays. Call plays that are better schemed for your personnel. I think I saw a graph or statistic where it's like we don't use any motion. We're like dead last in using motion or showing varying looks pre-snap. Let's get all Sean Payton on their asses. I mean, I remember Sean Payton's offense in 2000 or 2002 or something like that. And sometimes there was like a major shift with 3 or 4 guys. And then there was a motion. And the defense is just standing there like, I don't know what the hell's coming at me now. Let's just get into that. Let's do RPO. Let's use motion. Let's do all the things that people were so excited about when we signed Garrett, when we brought him on, and let's put our friggin' money where our mouth is. Someone tweeted out, taking a look at the schedule ahead, where do you have the Giants winning their first game? And I wrote September 12th, 2021. We're looking at an 0-16 season. And if that happens and we get the number 1 pick, let's not pick Trevor Lawrence. Just not do it. Let's trade down, get a shit ton of picks, and fill in the gaps along the offensive line if we can there. Playmaking wide receiver, because the defense feels like it's getting to a good spot. We're still not completely satisfied with it, but we're better than we have been in the past. We got a pass rush now that is not formidable, but at least there. It's present. It's a factor. Our linebackers are still, other than Martinez, I don't know that anyone, maybe Carter, is really standing out. And then your secondary, it's like Valentine's obviously not the solution. Yadam's not the solution. But I guess I like Love. I haven't seen McKinney in action yet, but, he was on pace to on par. A lot of people saying he had all pro written all over him. Peppers can't stay healthy, which is unfortunate because I like him when he's on the field, but, you had to be on the field. Bradberry, such a huge pickup. So far, Bradberry and Martinez paying off. Fleming, not so much. It's bad when you're at the point where you're no longer mad, just disappointed. I feel like the Giants' dad. It's like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That's not good. When you stop being mad and you just like, there's no end in sight. This is just going to be how it is. Like this season is a wash. I mean, Sunday's game is the 27th September. And I knew right then and there, 0-3, this season's over. I will continue to watch. I will continue to support, but this season is for sure over, and it's not even October. And when is the last time we went into October thinking, I mean, I guess last year we were 2-2 and we were coming up against the Pats and we're like, well, we could sneak one here. Maybe we beat the Vikings. So even at 2-4, I was like, ah. But at this point, no, zero confidence we're going to turn this around. And you can't really put the onus on Joe Judge. I think he did the best he could. Again, he in the same situation as Luis Rojas, we talked about with the Mets. Young first time manager, first time head coach, young, dealing with a pandemic that has severely crippled and cramped their coaching abilities, how they operate, typically having to do a lot of things virtually, having to juggle based on opt-outs and whatnot. So I don't know that you can really count any of this against Joe Judge unless he completely loses it and is just like, but I can't see that happening. I think he's too disciplined. So Gettleman's good as gone, right? And I understand the other people saying, well, you're going to bring in another GM that's going to shake it up again. Da, da, da. And it's like, well, then don't hire the GM. You really need to vet your GM and be like, hey, these are the pieces we like that have performed with us. You are going to talk to Joe Judge. Joe Judge is going to tell you the pieces that he wants to keep, that he knows are playing well, that he can coach and develop and nurture and lead. Here are the guys that you do not touch. And all these other guys, have at it. And that's how we get back on the winning path.